You're headed out for your evening jog. You're headed to the same place that you always go. Nothing seems out of the ordinary, and you're not expecting anything out of the ordinary, when all of a sudden you're grabbed from behind and thrown to the ground. Would you know what to do in that situation? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? Every 46 seconds in the United States, a woman is raped. That's according to safetyforwomen.com. 25% of the rapes that happen take place in a public place or a parking garage. 38% of those rapes occur from someone that you know, either a friend or an acquaintance. And according to RAINN.org, 80% of those rapes happen to women under the age of 30. We always like to tell ourselves that we couldn't be a statistic. That could never happen to me. But the truth is, it could happen to you or anyone that you know. Tonight, I'd like to tell you about 3 techniques that might keep you from becoming just another statistic. Those are the eye gouge, the throat strike, and the groin strike. I want you to think about for a minute how it feels when you have something in your eye. Think about how painful it is, even if it's an eyelash, a grain of sand, or a little piece of wood. Now, at that moment, you can't think about anything else but removing that object from your eye. So let's begin tonight by talking about the eye gouge. An eye gouge to your attacker is extremely painful. It can cause severe pain, temporary blindness, and if done right, even permanent blindness. It's a huge distraction. It will cause them to stop their task immediately, and it will cause them to go into self-preservation mode, and it could give you precious time to get away. So I'd like to call my husband up here. His name is Jerry Williams, and he's my source for all of these techniques, and he's been a self-defense instructor for 20 years. What you want to do is grab your attacker, the side of the face, by about the ears, and you want to gouge into the tear ducts and spread your thumbs all the way across the eye. And the minimal damage that you want to do is to scratch the lens. The most damage that you could do is gouging their eyes completely out. Again, that is going to be extremely painful and is going to make them distracted and will hopefully give you that time that you need to get away. If not, you want to move on to the second technique, and that's the throat strike. The throat strike will constrict your airway. It can cause temporary or permanent damage, and if you're concerned about being able to crush the trachea, you shouldn't be. Because if you can take a banana, a ripe banana, and mash it between your fingers, you can definitely crush someone's trachea. It's extremely distractive. Everyone knows that if you're choking, all you can think about is being able to breathe. That causes your attacker to go into self-preservation mode and hopefully gives you that precious time to get away. There's 2 ways to demonstrate that. And the first one is curling your hand over, making your hand rigid, and striking to the trachea repeatedly, as hard as you possibly can. The next one is grabbing them by the throat, if their head is down, grabbing them by the throat, crushing into the trachea, and trying to crush it all the way to the back of their neck. Hopefully, at that time, you'll be able to get away. And if not, you want to move into the third technique. And even if you weren't able to get away from that, with the second technique, this will give you the ample time that you do need to get away. The last one is the groin strike. And everyone in here knows how painful that is and how extremely distractive that is. Unfortunately, I won't be able to demonstrate that. Number one, because I love my husband too much to do that to him, and also because he would never let me. But I will say, if you're going to do the groin strike, you want to strike with either the top of your foot or midway up your shin, and that will just give you ample striking range. If not, if your attacker is above you, you want to use the heel of your foot and strike up into the groin as hard as you possibly can. In conclusion, tonight we've talked about the three techniques that can help you get away from your attacker. That's the eye gouge, the throat strike, and the groin strike. And while I've been up here giving this speech, 5 women have been raped. According to RAINN.org, 97% of rapists will never spend a day in jail. It is your responsibility to make sure that you know how to protect yourselves at all time, because there may not be anyone else around to save you. Thank you.